do the same for whoever listens.
Austin, go first.
What? Oh, hey,
Or Lord of the Rings, sorry. Yes, I am Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings. Welcome to our 7th podcast.
And he's gonna do the real intro here in a second, so just stay tuned for that.
And it won't take 10 minutes.
It won't take 10 minutes this time. But this is just the introduction of us saying hey, who we are and all that. All right, Justin, you're up.
I am just in time for TV. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to our stream.
Podcast.
All right.
Podcast,
Austin.
sorry. Podcast.
Hit it, man.
I hope it won't bug out for you guys. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thunderdome.
See, that sounded perfect over my
yeah.
headset on Twitch. Yeah,
Better?
that
All
sounded
right, cool.
really good. All right, so listen, you three live in a place. You live in this glorious state, former nation of its own called Texas, that you're not used to getting any sort of freaking snow. Matt, if you're talking, I see you talking. I don't hear anything from you in the Twitch chat, and that's probably because you turned your shit off for Twitch, and now you're just talking through Discord.
Can't hear you in the party. The Xbox
I can't hear him in the party. Yeah, I don't hear him in the Xbox party.
I heard him before.
I know, me
Unless
too.
he's just
He said,
mouthing
"Hold
to
on
him.
one
Unless he's.
second."
He might just be being a cunt. But yeah, y'all live in a place that's usually known for having 110-degree heat and no snow or ice. Well, maybe every now and then ice, but definitely no snow. So
Yeah.
you have to let me know. I live up in Colorado, so that's a commonality for me. So, dude, y'all have to. So how's it been?
Better now.
Much better now. I'm
It's
happy.
been a wild week, but now we're finally out of the trenches.
Matt, unfuck yourself. You left.
Oh, he left
you
the
left the
party. He's gonna
party.
join again.
You left the. Okay.
Hopefully.
God, I can't tell if he's fucking off or he's just.
He's
I
just
don't know.
mouthing off.
Yeah. He's taking the time to not be in the party to talk shit on all of us.
Probably.
But even though we could hear him through the Discord if we wanted to. that
We
could
muted
be a
you
thing.
through Discord, Matt. You have to join the Xbox party.
Yeah.
I heard him
just turned my
before.
volume down. Yeah, I just turned my volume down to be honest. But he's only wanting to do the Discord now. He's being difficult.
Is that what he said?
I don't know. It's Matt. He's always being difficult. That's what we love about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me send him another invite. Why he's being himself right now.
He's just
We are
saying-
live.
All right. So, when did it actually start snowing?
Sunday night.
Or Sunday night. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Sunday morning, technically.
So,
And
okay.
then there was more Sunday night. And then there was more Wednesday or Tuesday night.
Yeah.
But then,
Y'all
of course,
have-
that just added on.
Yeah. I was like, y'all had some pretty record low temperatures.
Temperatures,
like-
yeah, fucking
yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
It was below
mean,
0.
Yeah. Y'all didn't just. It wasn't just like, man, we're good here. It was like, no, this is some shit. Yeah.
And with the rolling blackouts for half the week, with
Mm-hmm.
it not even reaching or not the heat not reaching the temperature you want it to be to make it nice and warm, but it doesn't last long, or didn't last long. It was still cold regardless.
Yeah. What was the lowest it got?
If you want to
say
talk
like
about wind
-2.
chill or
I mean, with and without the wind chill, I guess. But like just
Like,
general
with the wind
temperature.
chill was probably between -20 to -15.
Damn.
Without it was just like -2 to 3, maybe 4.
Yeah. Well, you also have moisture. You have more moisture in the air down there. It's a little dry, but it's not like completely dry.
Matt, we can't hear you. You have to join
Matt's
the Xbox
still-
party.
Matt, stop being an individual. Be a part of the team.
I heard you perfectly through the party. I don't know what happened.
yeah.
I know you left.
Matt, if you can hear me, stop being an individual. Be a part of the team. Now that I've unmuted myself, so you can hopefully hear me. Now he's muted in this.
Oh.
God damn it. I sent him invites. He's just choosing not to accept them now. Or he's just wanting to play Rust. So,
Or he's talking to his other buddies or something.
I mean, maybe that's the case. That's fine if he is, but
And if you can still hear us, I have no idea.
I don't know. But I know, and y'all have the biggest thing with y'all is like the roads were freezing, and then pipes were bursting, and there was a shortage of freaking like milk, food. People were running out of water because they couldn't do it. I heard stories that people would fill their bathtubs up with water, like they'd say to do in a crisis, and like, oh, fill your bathtub with water so you can boil it and drink it. Obviously, no one takes a bath in it; that'd be disgusting. But you boil it, you drink it, you use it to flush the toilet if you need to, kind of stuff like that. And I heard someone say that they froze their bath water, and it turned into it just turned to a big block of ice. Hang on, I'm gonna mute myself on the headset and tell Matt to unfuck himself.
Can you still hear me, Austin?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm here. We're having Radio Kid. Unfortunately, I don't know what he's doing. If he's intentionally, I don't know, messed up. But well, I'm gonna turn I can turn my volume on so the audio comes through when we do this recording for the Discord. But I
Did
just
you
have
mute
my
yourself, or did you
computer-
unmute yourself and then unmute him?
Did I have him muted? Do I have him? I don't think I have him muted.
Trying to figure out what he's looking at.
Us. And he's talking.
He's talking to
I
somebody.
see his lips moving.
I just typed in what he should do.
But yeah, anyways, we had to struggle to find milk, and then I saw
Not really struggle. We couldn't find any. There was no milk. I mean, they blocked it off.
Yeah, they blocked it off,
And
and then the power went out at one of the stores, and
Yeah. Well, I was seeing that people were like panic buying food,
yeah, meat,
and
like the meat section was completely out of stock.
well, they were doing that, and then they were people would panic buy food, and they would lose power, so all the food they just bought would spoil. Like, you
Yeah.
dumbasses! Like, why would
Pretty
you
much.
do that? So that was always kind of an interesting thing for me, is that these people were just like, well, we don't know what to do, but we're gonna buy all this food, and then not thinking like, oh, maybe our power's gonna fucking run out, And I always kind of found that a little bit kind of, I don't want to say karmic, but at the same time, look, if you're a dickhead and you fucking do that with fucking all the food, and then you loot, and then all the food goes bad, it's like, listen, you have nobody to blame but yourself.
yeah.
And then how I heard Ted Cruz went to, I guess, Cancun or whatever it was.
Yes, the Zodiac killer himself. I don't know if that's actually true. I know people say that.
I don't know. He just left.
Yeah, he just took off. That I think they're still waiting for details for it. I think it's kind of bad timing. It's interesting optics, but he definitely should not have done that. I was looking at that like, guy, what are you doing? Like, why?
He's
Why
talking
in
to
the
somebody.
world would you take off at that most inopportune moment ever?
Yeah, he's talking
And,
to somebody on the phone.
Oh, okay,
Matt
he's
is.
on the phone.
Yeah, or he's talking to
Okay.
somebody, and that's what it was.
Matt, if you can hear me, I apologize. I did not know you were on the phone. I thought you were like maybe talking on your.
Well, he can't hear us
little
now
Zoom
because he
chat.
probably muted us on Discord.
Yeah.
Probably, whatever.
He's not in the party,
Um,
so.
Yeah. So, well,
I
have
saw
my
you
phone
had some
muted, so
snow yesterday, I think.
You talking about me?
Yeah. Or the past couple
not
days
where
or
I'm at.
whatever.
not where I'm at. So Wednesday we had really, really big. We had like 5 to 6 inches of snowfall. And then we had that. We had which we pretty much got off work early for Thursday or Wednesday night, and then Thursday they're like, oh no, don't worry about all that snow, just come on into work. I was like, why? Like I get it, Army, so they could just say whatever, and all these old heads that are like that suck a lot of Army cock, they're like, just do it, the Army said so. Like, all right, whatever, bro. We weren't really talking to you, but thanks. That one was like, okay, I mean, like I guess. Even though it was like you're skidding all over the place to get into work, that was always kind of fun and interesting to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that was really the thing. It was the big thing about it was that it was kind of silly that that was happening. I think most people agree that it was pretty silly.
There he is.
There he is.
Sorry about that.
Excuse me.
No, you're good. At first, I
There
thought
he
you were
is.
clowning around, and then I was like, oh wait, he might actually be talking to somebody.
Yeah. So I don't know where we are in the segment. What did we talk about? I'm sorry.
Weather.
I was
Crew's
just
going to
saying that we
Cancun.
had we were definitely we're talking about the snowfall that y'all got in Texas, and then Austin just brought up, well, there was some snowfall in Colorado, and I was like, yeah, Wednesday night we got about 4 or 5, maybe 6 inches of snow where I'm at in the Springs, and then but that, I mean, that wasn't shit, man. That really wasn't. That wasn't shit compared to
Just doing a weather report.
pretty much just like catching up, and how Texas reacted to the weather. Yeah, and then we were talking about how Ted Cruz went to Cancun, and now look, I'm not going to immediately be like, oh, this guy is a fucking
So-
trash bag. So maybe he is.
So now I'll add something in. This is why I made a call and I turned off and I made a call real quick. So on other news,
Kind of sounds
big
staticky, man.
news. If you aren't on a variable electricity plan, or if you're not on a fixed electricity plan, I recommend you do immediately. Texas on Monday was issued with the Electricity Commission or Energy Commission as allowing for these electric companies to charge 10,000% of what they normally charge per watt or whatever. So you can end up with a $9,000 bill, whatever fucking day your bill comes if you don't change immediately. Luckily, they're allowing you to do a retroactively as long as you're allowed to change it to a fixed rate for electricity as soon as possible. So if you're not on a fixed plan right now, I recommend you call and go do that immediately. Yes, this is legal. No, you have to pay it. It will fuck your credit. In summary, yeah, fucking Texas, man.
I'm gonna fix your
So,
mic, Matt, a little bit.
what is it?
Sounds a
What are
little
you guys'
staticky.
thoughts on that?
You sound a little
That's
staticky, Matt.
fucked. That is very fucked. I don't agree with that whatsoever. But I'm also relatively I don't know. I am not as savvy when it comes to the energy industry as you might be, but I know economically that's fucked. That basically that is just passing ownership of the failure to the people and saying, "Hey, look, guess what? We fucked up. You're footing the bill." Like,
No,
hold
no,
on,
no.
what?
There is no bill to be paid. They're just allowing it because it's so scarce.
Yeah.
They're
Matt,
just allowing. They're allowed to do it if they want to.
Matt, fix your mic.
Either
a
way,
bit.
that's fine.
There's no oversight whatsoever.
You sound
And
staticky, Matt.
Austin, you're muted.
Am I? You can't hear
On
me?
the Discord or on the
Austin and Justin, you guys are
are you
we
talking
talking?
about on
Which one are we talking?
Yeah,
Which
I'm
one are we
using
talking
the
on?
Twitch.
Xbox?
I have my computer muted. Now, if y'all have like your computer and you want to turn the volume off on your computer but talk through the headset like I'm doing, this way I don't
Okay.
have to have a video capture card, but I can get both
So
sets of
my guess is
audio.
they're both using Xbox. So that
I'm
makes
on the
sense.
Xbox party.
We're on the party here in Xbox, so
yeah,
that's
we're all.
I can hear all of us.
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
all of us.
Yeah,
That's
that's because you guys are using Xbox. You're not using
The
Discord.
Oh, since Neil
I mean, I'm
said
using
Yeah.
both.
Because Neil does.
What he's saying is if you can unmute yourself in the Discord,
No, you
It-
don't need to. I switched over to Xbox.
I'm saying so that we have both because we're using both to we're using with Discord. And
Use our
Twitch.
voices for Xbox, but on video on Discord.
But you want the video for Twitch. I mean, that makes sense too. Either way, go for it.
Yeah, just Matt, you just sound staticky. That's all.
That's why I don't use Xbox, but yeah.
You sound better now.
What I was going to say is
Yeah, sorry. So I didn't hear what Austin or Justin had to say. So are you guys on a variable plan or are you guys on a fixed plan?
I think we're on
Not
a fixed
sure.
plan.
I would go make sure because if you get that $6,000 bill, you have to pay it. There's no way around it.
that's so.
Yeah, I have to call them.
Yeah, and I'd recommend you do it sooner rather than later because soon as they decide to pass that, they're just gonna fuck everybody right in the ass.
How do they get away with that though? Is what I'm saying. I mean, like,
That's
how,
what
do you,
it's
how
been,
does someone how does someone say, well, we're just gonna make you foot a $9,000 bill? Oh, look, most people that are living paycheck to paycheck don't have 9,000 just sitting around.
Well, so they're
That's
not
not a
they're
thing.
not making you pay it all at once, but you can do it on a monthly payment plan if you want to.
Either way,
Are
still.
you saying we should make sure we're on a fixed rate? You said.
Oh yes. If you're not fixed, you're just gonna get your ass handed to you, and not in the good way.
Got it.
I'm
You will-
saying
you will
getting
get-
beat up is better than owing 10 grand.
Yeah.
That's also fair. Sorry, Matt came in with that, and that's actually relevant information. So anybody in Texas, get off the fixed rate, or get off the
Variable rate.
variable rate plan. Get on the fixed
Yeah,
rate plan.
you might
Do
have to
not
stay
let
on
them
the
fuck
phone
you.
for a few hours, but they do allow retroactive, which
Plug your phone in.
means If
Plug your
even
phone
if,
in and put it on speaker, man.
even if it's all the way back, it's still worth calling them and getting that not having to pay $600 more, even if it's not going up that much, because but I guarantee you these companies are going to fuck you in the ass when they have the chance, and that's
With no
just
condom.
yeah, no, and they have herpes or something, it's not going to be pleasant because what if you have rent and you owe $1,000, you're possibly going to owe a full year's rent in a matter of 1 month, and then they can threaten to turn off your electricity. Yes, and then it'll hurt your credit score, and it's legal. Who the fuck thinks that's okay? I don't. I think that's so fucked up. Like,
I
how's
mean,
that?
the first thing I said was that's fucked. But also, my second question is that you said it would be you get fucked in the ass wouldn't be pleasant. So getting fucked in the ass is generally pleasant for you, though, Matthew?
No, I'm saying it's more pleasant than fucking owing this much money. I'd rather,
Okay,
personally, I know this sounds fucked up, but I'd rather get fucked in the ass. Like, it's like, than owe 10 grand. I don't need to owe another $10,000 to anybody. I don't know about you guys. It's
No.
like, but I'm not made of money.
No, we're not. Or I'm not.
That's fair.
After the shit we went through and the rolling blackouts and stuff, yeah, it shouldn't be that much.
That's
No. They're still gonna
that whole
charge you.
concept of those is pretty fucked. That they're just gonna be like, yeah, we can charge you this. And
So that's why they're
for-
charging you 10,000% because so many people lost power, so they're not making money. Oh, okay. Well, let's do $10,000 or 10,000%.
You don't say that you
So
turn off
even if
everyone's
it's
power and
even if it's on, you will owe more than you ever did. So, my power wasn't on for very long. Okay, it's still going to be $700 for that 2 hours that was
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
Yeah,
what they're basically saying is get fucked.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay. So that is good. Glad you brought that to people's attention. So
Sorry to steal the
Justin
show there.
mentioned- No, you're
Oh.
good. No. That's
You're making
legitimate
up for the
information.
time that you weren't here.
Yeah, that's legitimate information for people that might have gotten frustrated. It's like no, it was for a good reason. Hold on, he's got a point. That's what Justin mentioned that Ted Cruz went to Cancun, and now I agree. The optics on that look absolutely terrible, and that in the time that his state needs him, he took off. Now my other thing is, maybe he had been planning this trip and it just happened to fall during the biggest snowstorm. That's mighty coincidental. I'm not going to rule it out.
No,
but
no,
I
it was
just kinda
spur of the
raise
moment.
was it really? Like,
Yeah, so he flat out came out and said, yeah, so the power went out in our house, so we went on a spur of the moment vacation because we couldn't do
wow.
anything.
So he's also not the governor. And everyone seems to think it's his job
Right,
to run the state.
right, but he shoulda came out with a
represents
statement
the
or said-
state.
but
I
still,
agree.
you
But
represent our state. You
represents
need
the
to say
state.
something. You don't need to
he
be.
represents the state, and when it's actually really cool. He represents the state when in the Senate. He does not represent the state. He doesn't run the state. That's Governor Wheelchair McFuckface Greg Abbott. Who I don't hate him, but I don't love him. Right? And I think there's sometimes he's
I
fucked
still
up.
believe if you can't stand, you shouldn't be running our.
I mean,
state.
I also
Hey,
I think
hey,
if you're over a certain age,
you think
shouldn't
I'm
be allowed
fucked
in
up for
politics
saying that?
whatsoever,
FDR at least stands during his fucking.
FDR was
speeches.
a gangster, and we talked
That's
about
what I'm
that
saying.
yesterday.
It's like at least fucking like you don't have to stand on your own. I just stand.
We
like
also talked
fucking
about
put
how this,
something
that,
help people help you. It's okay, but stand.
we also talked about how
Not
this
be rude
correlates
to
to
our
the
paraplegics out
pussification
there.
of the modern American male, and how that's just like a travesty, because everyone's now saying dumb shit like masculinity is bad and being a tough motherfucker is a bad thing. But it's like, listen, bitch, I don't think you understand who actually was responsible for making this country was a bunch of tough masculine ass men with big beards and that swung dick around as much as they swung a hammer around and built shit. But we're getting off topic here. I agree it's bad optics for him to be like, I'm going to leave the state of Texas in a time of crisis. But I also agree people are just looking for an excuse to dunk on a Republican on Twitter, because I guess for the liberal people, for the liberal-minded people, they're like,
it's
I
not
hate
that.
everyone
It's the
that's
fact that
Republican.
he posted it about it.
That's true. He shouldn't have posted. That's him being a dumbass. And I will.
Like, so if he
As
could have
I
gone to
always say,
Cancun and nobody
yeah.
would have known the difference, and not everybody's like, "Where's Ted Cruz during this?" Now, if he didn't post anything, I'd be like, "Okay, it's his own business. He decided
Didn't people
to do
take
that."
pictures of him?
Yeah. So, but he posted something about him going to Cancun.
That too.
You just can't do that, man. I mean, come on. I understand, like, you're a public figurehead. You can't fucking do shit like that, man.
I'm inclined to agree. I would also say that I think people, but again, I think it's the same reason why. Well, okay, when I say people are looking for the optics on it, they're just looking for a reason to dunk on someone that politically is not on their team. Look at AOC being like, this is, what was it? What did she blame it on? She said this is because I forget what she blamed it on. She said something really stupid. And she was blaming it on, and I'll have to look up the tweet, but she tweeted, basically said, like the reason why, okay, this is getting fucking annoying. The reason why this was happening was because of, she was saying, this is why you need a Green New Deal. And I said, okay, I agree until I don't agree. A Green New Deal would not have stopped this. Someone tell me where a Green New Deal, like using purely renewable resources, would have stopped power from going out or pipes bursting.
It wouldn't have.
Exactly. So, look, I know people want to believe the Green New Deal is the end-all be-all, and if, they're the vote blue no matter who types that are just equally mentally disabled, they're going to agree with it. But I'm sorry, you're dumb. It's a no-go at this station. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that a Green New Deal would stop anything. I mean, as far as new energy, it's going to be cleaner. Absolutely. The preparation on the power side was in the sense that they didn't have enough power to renewable energy. So you do renewable energy, we do the windmills, which obviously got blamed first for everything, but it was gas. So they had to start burning gas at a rapid rate. So we didn't have enough natural gas to burn for the power offset. People's heaters are having to run all the time. I mean, you got things. So not only are you using natural gas to make power, but now you got people's heaters are using a shit ton of natural gas to fucking make sure that their house stays warm. So you got this shortage all of a sudden, and they're like, well, let's blame it on renewable energy, which is fucking wind. Oh, it's frozen outside. They can't work on those conditions. It's like, that's fucking bullshit. They have people in Antarctica and Arctica that use windmills. They just got to
yeah,
go
but those
clean
windmills
them.
are built for Antarctica and in the
And
Arctic
I will
conditions.
agree to that. I will agree to that.
Like when you create these windmills, like, hey, this is supposed to function in Antarctica. It's like, all right,
But
let's make sure they're ready to function in Antarctica.
It's no one person's fault. It's all around a
No,
shitty
it's
system,
all
and
their fault.
It's not.
And-
It's not meant for this cold, and I'll agree.
Yeah.
It's been
So
probably 40, 50 years where this has happened this bad. Now, it happened back in 2011 where people lost power. Luckily, it did not get down into the single digits on a regular basis. It was in the 20s. very survivable. It's just below freezing. Obviously, it's very uncomfortable, but in this case, there's been many people that have died
Yeah,
from
what's
this.
the death count now?
I think it's in a couple hundreds now. It's ridiculous. I mean,
It's
on
up there
top of it,
though.
we got a big news. This is just news, side news. I'm sure that this last week didn't help him very much, but a Marine just killed his family in Salina and then burned down his house, murdered them all. Probably, and I'm just saying this, probably because he was stuck in the fucking house with them for a fucking week.
Probably.
And
Listen,
Probably.
listen. On that note, sorry, go ahead, Austin. I don't mean to.
No, I said
Go
probably.
ahead. Okay. On that note, like you have to think about how many. To go off topic real quick, just on that related note of like when we were quarantined, locked down, and people were stuck in their homes, how many shitty relationships do you think kept going, or how many marriages, like how many abusive relationships do you think just got so much worse during these lockdown periods? You know what I mean? Because the girls couldn't get away, or sometimes the guys, the abused couldn't get away, the abuser just had complete free reign for in that situation, just go off. Not saying it was right, but like,
the
they were locked in the house
situation,
together.
you're fucked. I mean, there was
Yeah.
nowhere you could go. There is nowhere you can go. The situation is you're stuck where you are, and it's
Mhm.
fucked. It really is fucked. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You can't run anywhere. You can't
Run
hide.
anywhere. Where are you gonna run to? Everything's closed down. Most people can't even get out of their houses. So I mean, you're gonna run out of your house, but you're probably just gonna freeze to death outside.
Hmm.
Um,
You're just
for
fucked.
for
And you're
the
stuck where you are, man.
audience, yeah. Listen, for the audience, you should probably make sure that when you marry somebody, you can stand to be stuck with them for like a week or 2 weeks or even a month. You can stand to be isolated with them for a month. Don't marry someone who's like, oh well, maybe they're sweet to me when we hang out and the sex is really nice, but then like you're stuck with them for a month and you hate each other's guts, or even just a week. I wouldn't even go as far as a month, but like, yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna preach marital or relationship advice
Preach,
to our
motherfucker.
to our
Preach.
viewers because I'm not the expert in that discussion and that topic, but I will say that that is something that people should make sure they are actively when they're looking for someone in life, when they're looking for a partner, for a spouse or a boyfriend, girlfriend, a significant other of any type. Make sure you can tolerate that person in the worst of conditions. Don't just be by them when things are great. Yeah, that's awesome, and I wish nothing but the best for everybody. But like, make sure you can stand each other when shit gets bad. Don't just think that like it's gonna your relationship will be okay because like you like each other during the good times. Make sure you still like each other during the really shitty times.
Mhm.
Speaking from third party and first and first person experience. Uh, that's you want to make sure you can tolerate that person when things are just absolute garbage.
Why do you think marriages are so good in Canada?
I don't know, man. Probably because they
That's
can
because
smoke
you're
weed
fucking
if they.
stuck with them all winter.
You're
It's
stuck with
got
them
to
all
be
winter,
good.
but
It's
like
got to
at
be
the
good
same
in order
time,
to
like,
fucking stay
they
with
can
them.
legally just if they can't deal with each other, rather than drinking alcohol and getting angry and all that, they probably just smoke a shit ton of weed and be like, all right, fine. Like I'll deal with you, but I'm gonna be stoned the whole time, and they'll just be happy and goofy and get along. I'm not advocating for if your marriage is or if your relationship is going sour to just get super high all the time. But also, I mean, like they're used to that. They're also I don't know. They have a different their culture is different. Their country is different. Their people are different. Um, so that's another thing. But
Well said.
yeah, no. But make sure you can tolerate your significant other, or even if it's not your significant other, your roommates, man. Make sure you don't go crazy on your roommates and chop their heads off and stuff. Because you still have to live with those fuckers.
Yeah. You do.
So going back to and then while talking about lockdowns, we got to talk about this food shortage, waters being scarce, pipes bursting, just all this other shit that happened. And this is where I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second. And I'm going to say, I know I'm going to sound like a prepper for saying this, but make sure you have emergency stores of food and water and batteries if you can. If you can make sure you're running a generator or something off of gas rather than electricity, and that's something within your feasible budget and is feasible to your lifestyle, then do it. Obviously, that's not going to be everyone. Everyone's going to think I'm crazy for saying that. Like, oh, you're a prepper. I'm like, whatever, fuck off. It's not for the end of the world. It's for exactly this scenario. You're stuck in your house. The roads are snow and ice. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. But you still have to survive, right? You have to make sure you have some food just laying around for you. You know, you don't want to go starving because you're just like, oh, it'll never happen. Look, that's normalcy bias. You're thinking that'll never happen in Texas, but it just happened. And that should apply to everything in life. Don't let your normalcy bias catch you off guard. Make sure that you're understanding that these things can and at some point will happen. Maybe not to the extremity that like it's like the end of the world, but shit happens, man. So make sure you have some food. Make sure like, and it doesn't have to be. I'm not talking about like military rations. I'm talking about like canned food and a way to cook it. And if you do need like food that you may not necessarily have to cook, like dehydrated food, then like sure, get that. I don't care. I know plenty of people that have like the meal ready to eats, the MREs from the military that are like the perfect. You just put water in them and they cook themselves. They're dehydrated food, and that works for a lot of scenarios. But make sure you have all that. Make sure you have some flashlights and some batteries, and you have a way to boil water if you need to, or you have emergency water, whether it's bottles of water or you have those like emergency first aid kits that will have little packets of water. I mean, those work too. So that is my soapbox. Always be prepared. Even if you think you would never need it, you'd rather need it and not have it than have it and not need it. Kind of like a gun. Fucking anti-2A
Kind
cucks.
of.
Fucking hate it. No, exactly like that, man. So that's just my soapbox. Don't think of it like you're prepping for the end of the world. Think of it like you're prepping for a really bad snowstorm, or you're prepping for like a flood, or something that will keep you locked in your house for a few days, and you might just need to make do with what you got. So that's
Just have
that's
to be
my
smart.
soapbox on that. You have to be exactly. You have to be smart and be prepared. You can't just be like, oh, it'll never happen.
Hey,
Okay.
what's the be prepared motto from?
What are you talking about?
What's the be prepared came from a fucking source, dude. It did just not fucking come about by anybody.
I don't know. Tell us then. Stop asking
From the
questions. This is
Boy
like-
Scouts, motherfucker.
Oh, I was never a Boy Scout. Do I look like a type of guy who was a Boy Scout?
Yeah, but that's where that saying came from. Be prepared.
Well, they were onto something about that, and they started fucking little boys. Or I guess they got exposed for fucking little boys. That's a different scenario, I guess.
Hey, we all go through the same shit, man.
Fucking little boys.
Yep.
I have
No.
questions for you now, Matthew.
I just like how they agree. Yep.
No.
Nope.
No.
And then I
don't
said
agree.
that, and they're like, "Wait, no, stop."
I was saying yes to the other thing before you just said whatever you just said.
About having sex with minors.
But I don't agree.
All right, Epstein.
Mm.
By the way, Epstein didn't kill himself.
Really?
No, he didn't.
Anyway.
Anyways, so Ted Cruz going to Cancun, totally planned move, totally bad optics. So he's not the governor. He's not the one who runs the state. He simply represents them in the Senate, which everyone should remember. He did leave during arguably one of the biggest crises of the last
Texas.
decade to go on a trip to Cancun. Why? Because he has money and he can. Not cash money, Mr. Cruz. I'm sorry. That was not a good move. And it's sad as I at least don't hate him all the time. I don't hate I like his constitutionalist view, but then I just saw that and I was like, you dumbass. Like,
Yeah. Pretty
come on.
much.
Yeah, he tried to defend it. Did you see
Yeah.
Rick Perry come out and he's like, "Yeah,
Rick Perry's-
Texans would rather pay this extra money than being regulated by the federal government for energy."
I mean, he's not wrong in some regards. I'm
no,
never a
but not
huge
paying
Rick Perry
10,000%
fan either.
though.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Rick Perry fan. I mean, some people might rather pay an extra fee than to be regulated by the government. I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of government, but I don't know about a 10,000% increase.
Correct.
So I guess it depends on who you ask. Oh fuck! Sorry, I'm playing Halo 5 and I'm doing one of those Forge World race maps. I just went off the edge. So I don't agree with that. Food shortages, though. want to get into that, and I think part of it is listen. This is something that's been weighing on my mind, and I've been thinking about what I'm going to do when they get out of the military. I've been looking into agriculture, to be honest, and possibly even coming back down to Texas to kind of get into that in some way. Possibly, I'm not saying for sure, but it's possible. It's something I've looked into. I've never been too involved in the agricultural sort of lifestyle, but I mean, I'm totally down to hop into it. I'm relatively young enough that I can get started, and I won't totally destroy my body. But then again, you have like 85-year-olds that do that shit, who've been doing it for like 65 years or 75 years, depending on when they started, and they're fine. Maybe not fine, but they're
get
still
started.
doing it. Yeah, so I don't know. But what's y'all's take on the food? And I understand part of it was that it was usually shipping routes. Couldn't get the food to the supermarkets or the grocery stores or wherever.
Well, it's
What's
not
y'all's
just that.
take
You don't have
on
anybody
that?
stock the.
Yeah, no one's there to
stock
stock the shelves.
Yeah.
The drivers can't get through the routes to deliver the food that's supposed to get stocked onto the shelf.
It actually, apparently, quite a bit of the drivers were delivering the shipments, and they were because they do that.
Not.
Because no, they were. They're just coming up with fucking excuses, and the stores are saying no, they're not delivering. It's like that's fucking bullshit. These guys drive in this kind of weather on a regular basis.
Yeah.
This isn't like they're fucking only in Texas. They're all across the United States.
Well, you have to think it's not the drivers that are having the issues. It's them dealing with the blockages of traffic and the closures of roads. It's not them. They could drive in that condition. It's when you get to a state that doesn't deal with it, and then everyone's kind of like pooping their pants and shitting themselves and not able to drive in these conditions. Then you get a different issue. Then it's Then it's a issue of like they can't get through a closed road. You know, they're not just allowed to plow through and be like, move, bitch. They still have to abide by the laws. But it was I heard it was more the road closures and the traffic jams. And
no. Well, the reason I know this is firsthand. My brother-in-law works for Kroger. You know, and he had no issues getting shipments. It was the people calling out constantly, and you can't. You know, it's hard to do anything when you don't have anybody to stock the shelves. You know,
that's fair.
And you can't. It's like you could try to do it yourself, but you know, it's impossible. You know, everybody calls out, and honestly, the roads. If you had a small, shitty vehicle, you shouldn't be driving if it's too light because you're going to get stuck. My vehicle's top heavy and it's a front wheel drive. If anybody didn't know, if you have a front wheel drive vehicle, it's the best vehicle to drive in snow or on the ice. And it's got to be front heavy. That's why your engine's got to be in the front, and it'll make it easier because you know if it's too light and you're trying to do the back, it gets no traction on ice or snow particularly. So a lot of people props on you for staying home, but sometimes you got to risk it. You got to go out and drive. And the people that are like, well, I'm not gonna fucking get paid $9 an hour to go fucking stock and risk my life. I can understand that. You know, who the fuck wants to get paid $9 an hour, even if it's your living the way you live, to go wreck your car that you have? You know, nobody does. And I don't blame them, but it's like you probably would have been better off if you went to go work, to be honest. You know, and especially if you didn't have, if you have rolling blackouts and you don't have any power, you're probably better off at work. Obviously, the stores had that too, but at least you can get something from that, you know?
Agreed. So that's interesting. That's an interesting take. I didn't hear that. I did hear. I mean, are you talking about this? Are you getting your information for like strictly the Dallas area, the DFW, the greater DFW metroplex, or
yes?
Or can you valid? Okay, so maybe that whole truckers can't get through is maybe like South Texas, like San Antonio, Austin,
that
Houston.
Would make more sense.
Okay.
So
when I said I heard just Texas, I didn't necessarily focus on the states. I saw that headline and I was like, oh, that's not good.
So I don't know where the distribution center is for all of Texas. Not gonna lie. But it definitely seems as though some of it's a little bit of fibby, you know, on the fact that it's all of Texas. Although, you know, the immediate DFW area didn't get hit as hard, in my opinion, as maybe San Antonio or Austin did.
I know the Fort Hood area got smacked because I still got buddies that are stationed there. And they were telling me that like Fort Hood is still having complete like no work days. They're not even called. Most soldiers aren't being called into work.
They got
because
like
they can't deal
couple
with that.
feet of snow. We got maybe
Yeah.
8 inches to 9 inches of snow.
Yeah.
And it's because they had the harder weather, and it went all to the south of us, and we got lucky because we were supposed to have it, and it missed us to the north and missed us to the south, and we just happened to be lucky. And that just happens sometimes. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's awesome that it did. Unfortunately, it seems like places. So here's some statistics for you. Typically, 6 inches or shorter, most people can drive on snow without any major issues. Once it starts getting above 6 inches, it dramatically decreases, and you can't. A lot of people, I would say 90% of people can't drive on it purely for one reason: they don't have the correct equipment, such as tires, snow tires, or their vehicle is not the right kind of vehicle. And people are always making fun of the this area of saying for trucks. Well, unfortunately, we don't have the equipment, and just because you have a truck doesn't mean you can drive on snow or ice. Obviously,
Agreed.
It can make things easier, but you can't drive if you don't have the correct equipment hooked up.
Listen, it's gonna sound really mean, but I was laughing at all the douchebags with trucks, but they're like they're not 4-wheel drive, they're 2-wheel drive, and they have like mud flaps, and they're acting like they go mudding all the time, but they don't. And then they're like skidding out over like a little bit of ice, and I'm over here drifting in the snow with a big old smile on my face in a 2013 Honda Accord Sport. Like, even though granted I have snow tires, but like at this point, my baby's handling like a champ. It's like, get fucked, nerd. I wanted to make a meme about that when you said, "Oh, all these people with trucks can't drive," and I wanted to make a meme where it's like me smiling, like, laughs in 2013 Honda Accord Sport.
Jeez.
I think I'm becoming half a Coloradan now because of that. I'm just every time I drift a little in the snow, I kind of start smiling. I'm like, "Ooh, fun."
Yeah, you don't have to put any effort into it.
Well, now it's just you don't have to put any effort into that big ass turn. I would definitely agree that like everyone seems to think, oh, they got trucks, right? They got a big old Chevy or whatever they got, and it's like, well, listen, that Chevy's ain't shit when you have you have nothing to like you have nothing on it that makes it effective in inclement weather, whether that be snow, ice, heavy rain. I mean, look, people are still gonna fuck up. People are gonna fuck their cars up, and that's just unfortunately that's just the nature of the beast. And I don't like it. I'm not happy that people's tires and their cars are getting just wrecked. I'm not saying yay for that kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna have too much sympathy because, like, listen, I've only been out here in Colorado for about a year. Now, granted, that's plenty of time to get used to these conditions, but at the same time, Honda Accord Sport, and all I put on it was snow tires. That's it. All I put on was snow tires, and I'm driving perfectly fine. Now, again, it's like maybe once every 5 to 10 years that Texas actually gets a decent amount of snow. Within this last decade, though, we're closing on that three times in a decade mark, which is still not often.
Don't get it every year.
So, yeah, I mean, listen.
At least this bad.
You get like maybe some snow flurries, but they never stick. It never closes down the roads. It never fucks up traffic. It never shuts down schools or grocery stores or shipping lanes for trucks or anything like that. It's generally just a little bit of snow flurries. Hey, be careful outside driving. You know, the roads might be a little slick from the slush, but besides that, you're generally okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. But on that note, there's a big fuss about people winterizing their both the energy grid in Texas as well as their vehicles. Now, I understand this happened. Now we're all saying winterize it. Again, 3 times do we have substantial snowfall in the last decade. And before that, I don't remember it snowing until from the 2010, 2011 snowpocalypse we had back when we were all in high school. I don't remember that. The time before that was like somewhere between 2001 and 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We were all kids. that happen, and that was like that was a random snowfall. It came down, closed things out for like a day or two, and then we were right back to business because it got hot again and it all melted. Spending the money to winterize your energy, your power grid, your all your different forms of renewable energy,
it's not gonna happen.
anything, it's not going to happen. And I think the people that are arguing for it are just these cunty climate change, global warming, Green New Deal shills that want to use this opportunity to. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with supporting any of that, but you're not using your fucking brain, that thing between your goddamn ears, when you're just like, oh yeah, winterize it. It's your fucking fault, Texas. Bitch, Texas doesn't get snow. Like, you don't get snow, so why are you going to waste the money? And most of these people are economically illiterate anyway, so they don't understand the cost of winterizing an entire power grid or energy system for a state that doesn't get snow often enough to really warrant it. Should they have some contingency in place? Yeah, sure, if it's not going to break the bank and be stupid. But should they winterize everything? No. Just fuck no. And I was talking with a friend from high school. Was it last night or the day before? And she was saying the exact same thing. She was saying, "Well, we should have winterized." I'm like, "No, why? Like, yeah, it would have helped for this, but like, there's no reason. It would have come out of people's pockets. I feel like they would have probably had to raise taxes slightly to cover the cost, and no one wants that.
No.
So, I mean, look, people are already broke enough after this past year. Finding dumb reasons like that to raise taxes and charge people more money is just kind of silly. So I didn't know what y'all's take on that was, like winterizing Texas's entire energy grid, power grid, whatever you
We
want to
don't
call
need it.
Oh,
Thank you.
no.
Matt, you're the environmentalist and the economically savviest of all four of us.
Based off of how often it happens, it doesn't make any sense. However, based off of the amount of people that were affected and the death toll that this last winter storm had, I recommend that they do take some, maybe not winterize everything, but maybe water and gas winterize, maybe not power, because, with the water goes out, we get in this position where people can't drink water for a few days, and that is key to survival. And people are flocking to the stores trying to get water bottles, and they couldn't. So, to some degree, yes, I think they should winterize. Do I think they should do the whole power grid? Probably not. That's not really necessary, no.
No. And I would say one more point about people going out to buy water and stuff when the crises are already ongoing. Yeah, it's called being prepared, not reactive, right? If you're going to buy shit for the crisis when the crisis has already happened or has already begun, you're doing it wrong, buddy. Like you're fucking up. I just don't. Yeah, it's sort of one of those things. Oh, well, we don't have any water. Well, why not? Aren't you always saying you're prepared for this shit, right? Well, yeah, but we never thought. Well, yeah, that's kind of what being prepared is. Like you're preparing. You're expecting the unexpected and hoping it doesn't happen. That's why we do these things, where we prepare ourselves, and on all levels. It's not just, hey, it looks like it's already the roads are already frozen. Let's go get some water now. Well, the water's probably already sold out, guy. I mean, I appreciate your wanting to survive this and having that fighting spirit, but you also should have done this days in advance. You should not be planning for this as it's happening or after the fact. But anyway, sorry, I heard that and I had to say something really quickly.
Yes, I agree with you on that. A lot of people honestly probably thought, I'm just doing devil's advocate here. A lot of people probably thought, oh, they're saying it's going to be this bad, but it's really not. It's probably not going to get down that cold. Oh, it's not going to be that bad, and that's Texans for you. When Hurricane Katrina hit, there's still a lot of fucking people stayed behind because like, oh, it's not going to be that bad, and you never expect it to be that bad. But when it comes to Murphy's Law, did I get it right that time?
Murphy's law is the law of combat, but it fits
Fuck.
here.
What's the one? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Well, that is Murphy's law, but you call it Murphy's law of combat, but it's essentially also can be used in the same manner to reference
yeah, well,
Darwinism.
I'm not
so
that
the law of
smart, so I don't know.
Darwinism-
But that's the one I use, dude, and it's the one I've been led by. Two rules I've always been led by: Murphy's law of anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and then on top of that, it's if live your life like you're on television, because the chances are you probably being watched or being recorded.
I
And
want
I've
to say
lived-
hi to my NSA and my FBI handlers that have probably been following me and put me on a list for years now.
yeah,
Fuck you guys. Just kidding. Love you.
But that's what my point. It's like you're probably being watched. In recorded,
Probably.
and they'll be coming back if they need to use something against you. They have different recordings. Like for instance, I have a home Google at my house.
Yep.
That probably records all of my conversations, and I say fucked up shit all the time on purpose. Yes. Do I mean most of it? No. Just because it's something really fucked up pops in my head, and I want to tell a joke. And people, and the saddest part, just to get off topic a little bit, saddest part is people don't. The whole purpose of it being called a joke is because it's a joke. It's not meant to be racist. It's not meant to be offensive. It's a
Right.
joke. It's
Supposed
because
to be funny.
people stereotype, and when we stereotype, we think it's funny. And bringing up jokes that are stereotypical, you're like, yeah, I could see that. But to my point, Texans, I'm being stereotyped. A lot of Texans are like, it's not going to be that bad. Oh, I was in the north. It's not going to be that bad. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
when you take out the power, the water, the gas, you take out all of these different things, and then like the only store that's open, by the way, it was Kroger. That's the reason I know that. Because Kroger refused to shut down because they're like, oh, this is a profitable time, so we're going to make all of our workers come in. And that's the
Classic
main
move.
reason I know that. But people went to the Krogers and everything's fucking shit, sold out. And you got to prepare yourselves better. And some people are prepared and others weren't. And you can see that.
Mhm.
The people that went, the few cases where I'm very sorry and I feel really bad. But the few cases where people were so cold in their house that they went in their car, in their garage, and turned on the
Oh, yeah.
car to try to stay warm. Props to you. You got to do it outside, though. Don't do it in your fucking garage. They died from carbon monoxide poisoning. And in case anybody doesn't know what a carbon monoxide is, please freaking go get just like a fire alarm, go get a carbon monoxide detector. It's very important that
Yes.
you keep yourself alive and keep people alive. And a mother killed her daughter and put 2 other people in the hospital. And it's just these situations you need to be prepared for the worst. Murphy's law, in my opinion. And whether or not it's combat or real life or whether you gotta get your stuff and shit in place. For my instance, I know some people are in apartments and you're like, well, where am I gonna put everything? Well, what's the most essential things you need to survive? Ask yourself that question. What do I need to survive for a week without going anywhere if I lose power, water, and heat? What do you need? For me, it's firewood. I have a fireplace. Some people might not be that lucky. If you don't have firewood, then find a place where you can go to and stay warm. Maybe somebody that you know, or somebody's house, a friend's place. You can go to stay warm, even if they don't have power.
Right.
If you know you're gonna lose water, fill up your freaking bathtub with water, and then use that to flush your toilet, so you don't have to fucking take shits and in a big huge tub and leave it there for 5 days. Obviously, that's not nobody's wish list for Christmas. And buy bottles of water. I always have 2 to 3 cases of bottle of water on me, and yeah, it's wasteful to drink bottles of water, but in the scenarios such as this last week, it came in handy. Especially I had people over. I helped people. I had 3 friends, without power and shit, and without power and without water, and I was like, hey, you can stay in my house until this all gets better. They stayed over for 3 days. I was prepared. I had my wood. I was one of the lucky people, very lucky people, that still had power the entire time, but still, you got to be prepared for these situations. And I was prepared. for the power to go out. I had a shit ton of wood that I got 2 weeks prior before the storm hit. And why? Because as soon as I heard a snowstorm or an Arctic front was coming, and it was about 2 weeks out, I was like, fuck, I need to go get shit before the store sold out. And to my recollection, shit did not get sold out until almost 2 days before. Because I have a first-hand man. 2 days before, things didn't get sold out. So that means people waited to the very last second possible to go and shop for the things that they needed to prepare. And that's kind of unacceptable, in my opinion. You need to be ready for anything, whatever situation, and think about what's the worst thing that can happen, and then prepare for it. Sometimes it's not fun to think about these things, but to keep
Nobody wants to. That's the problem. And nobody wants to think that'll happen, and it's the normalcy bias. It's
Just goes
that'll
to
never
show.
happen. I don't need to do this, and blah blah blah. And it's like, listen, dick fuck. Like, stop thinking about yourself, and stop maybe thinking that like this will make you some sort of person that you view as unintelligent in some way. Because I know a lot of people think like the prepping community is unintelligent. They're a bunch of idiots and they're a bunch of dumb rednecks. And then you realize that there's some merit to what they're saying, and you're like, holy hell, like they might actually be onto something here. But you can't. I mean, they don't want to admit that, and that's a stupid pride thing. That's a very stupid pride thing. I don't advocate for it. I think, look, if you understand that like shit's gonna go down, you need to swallow your pride or whatever it is that's stopping you from taking action sooner rather than later. And well, the worst thing that happens is you go a few days early and you get some water, or you get some canned food, or you get some I don't know, whatever you're gonna get to last you through the inclement weather. Wow. And you're just gonna have it. So congratulations, you have some water. So next time you don't even need to go anywhere. You just have water standing by. What's so bad about that?
Goes to show you not everyone knows how to be fully prepared on time.
Yeah, so I am curious, Twins. I guess you went to your parents' house, right? Since you lost your power.
No.
Oh, you just stayed where you were.
Yep.
Yeah.
So these are real men.
So did you lose your water?
No. We have our own like little water filter thing, and we were able to fill it up in the sink. We still had our water running, luckily.
Okay.
My toilet didn't work for a day or two, but
You're shitting.
The other worst part of the storm, and sorry to keep on going on about the storm, but I mean it's the talk of the week, especially here in Texas. What else happened? A shit ton of water pipes burst, which either one of two things: you got a really shitty construction person that built all your stuff, or simply what was the other part? Or fuck, I don't
probably
know.
in an old house.
Not checking pipes.
Old house,
maybe?
yeah, old house. Or you didn't drip. Sorry, or you didn't drip correctly. So, to a lot of people's unknowing, it's not just especially in Texas when we're not accustomed to freezing temperatures. It's not just the outer walls that you need to run your water or drip. It's all of your pipes. So if you have a bathtub, if you have a sink inside, even if it's not touching the outer wall, you need to let it drip. And I'm not saying like a nice flow. I'm just talking about just drip.
Everything where water comes out, just make it drip.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I probably only need to let the water drip that's on the wall, that's exposed to the freezing water. That's bullshit. No.
All of it.
All of it. It's because our pipes are not accustomed to this. It was not built for cold weather, and you just need to let all water from everywhere. Luckily, one of the only things that we cannot make drip in our house, and it was against the wall to the outside, and it was super fucking cold, was our washer. And on Wednesday, it's starting to get a little warmer. Wednesday, my brother-in-law is like, well, I'm going to go run the washer. No problems with the water going in. Going out, yes. So apparently there was a little a nice amount of water that froze in the pipe, the drain, and it shot all the water back up and started flooding the area where our washer was. And luckily it was no pipes, but obviously, even drains get frozen. So that's my point, is if you let everything drain, the chances of your house freezing or any drainage or anything, it won't. And unfortunately, there's nothing you really can do about the washer. But you know,
Same with
it
the
was
toilet
just
too.
unfortunate. The toilet. I mean,
Unless you want to
your
flush it every
shit's
second.
just gonna burn through that. Either that or your urine. You know, we all have that what is it called? The alien piss. You know, it just burns through everything, man.
I'm curious as to what you're urinating
But,
out
like,
of your
acid
body,
piss?
but okay. I'm
Um,
a little worried about what your diet consists of now, Matt.
oh well, you know, just a lot of horrible things. A lot of horrible
I mean,
things.
I'm okay. I understand. Mine is too. I'm only on day 2 of trying to eat relatively healthy, and I really want to go get some greasy burger right now. And I'm just like, nope, gotta stay the path. I'm gonna make some more steak and eggs here in a little bit.
So that's just your body detoxing from all
Pretty
the
much.
from the
I might
sugars
allow
and
myself
stuff.
one meal a day where I have like carbs, and I'm gonna save it to be like my last meal of the day. So like yesterday, it's relatively healthy. It's not the healthiest, but like yesterday, I got like Subway at the end of the day. I just got myself
Right.
a Subway sandwich, but I'm not getting
Actually,
like a
that's got a
greasy
lot of fucking
big.
sugar. It's actually Subway is just as bad if you did not know. Subway
I
is
know it's
just
not
as bad
I'll
as
still eat
going
it. I
and
don't give a
eating
fuck.
burger somewhere.
Well, yeah, y'all are like permanently skinny. You don't ever have to worry about getting
Permanently. Who knows?
I mean, I
Well,
might
y'all-
ask- wait.
I mean,
y'all have
Austin,
great
yes.
genetics.
Justin, I don't know. You got a little tub.
I was
Justin
at
thick?
one point 188, and now I'm at
Justin, are you getting
168.
thicker than a sticker over there, brother?
I'm more muscle and like
Yeah.
this than Austin.
I'm more thick than Austin.
Flex,
Oh
flex on it.
yeah.
So
I have
at
muscle.
the beginning of last year, when all this happened,
This whole
Uh,
podcast is now turning into a big flex on everybody else.
I have no
my
fat,
Dick's
just
whenever-
bigger,
muscle.
motherfucker.
so whenever all this stuff happened, the COVID and whatnot, I was at 188, 189, and now I'm at 165, 160.
See,
Oh, fuck balls.
unfortunately for me, I went the opposite direction, dude. I was at the beginning of this, I was like 155 or 255, and now I hit my max about 292. Now I'm headed back down slowly. I'm down to 281, so I lost about 11 pounds in the last couple of weeks now. But dude, congrats to you, bro.
Thank you. I know.
Sure.
I've been eating healthier now.
Oh, fuck.
And I should have started like a long time ago, but I mean, like with
No
the
matter
stuff
what,
that I'm eating now, I'm
you
feeling
do what
much
you gotta
better,
do.
and I'm
Yeah.
just like I feel like I'm alive. I guess I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm not like down all the time and stuff.
Well, no,
Nothing's changed
that's
for me.
a huge thing. Thing with people's mood is people don't think this, but your diet has everything to do with your mood. If you have a good diet, you'll tend to feel better emotionally, mentally, obviously physically. But that's something that people don't often think about, or they overlook, and they're like, "Yeah, whatever."
Not me. I get fucking angry.
You get well, yeah.
Oh,
If you're doing like
hangry.
keto and you're detoxing those carbs out of your body, and your body's used to resorting to glycogen and all the other terrible things for you that you usually get. I mean, your body's gonna be like, "Yo, where's my fix, bro?"
Yeah, no. I've been super angry. I've been yelling and shit at everybody. Like all my friends have been getting kind of scared and like it's like, Matt, you have anger management issues? I do, but I'm not fucking eating my carbs. And
Not afraid of you, Matt.
it's okay. It's okay. No, but I mean
I
seriously,
understand.
like my parents know it too. It's like it's okay. He's on a diet. Because like there's no other case where this happens to me, but it happens when I you know don't eat the correct foods and things on a regular basis.
Right.
But
I have to eat a lot of steak and eggs, and depending on what time we finish this, I may just go get my carb fix because I'm weaning off of it right now, and then I think hopefully by the beginning of next week, I'll be good to go.
That's okay.
I'll give
We're
myself
just
another
over an
week.
hour right now.
yeah, just
Yeah.
for anybody that ever wants to do a diet, it's always good to start out your diet with keto for about a week just to detox your
Mhm.
body. So that way you get all the bad shit out of your body, and then you go into whatever fucking shit. Even if you go back to eating carbs, you just need to detox your body, which is not your body really. It's your liver. So
Mhm.
if anybody doesn't know, your liver has what is called a storage, just like your body when you get like nice and fat and you get your plump of fat. It has a storage of glycogen and all the sugars that you need to burn to make your body work. Well, a healthy liver has a little bit, not a lot. and when you detox, it basically flushes all that shit out and allows your liver to start from scratch. And it'll be healthy sugar. It'll be healthy glucose and shit. So you need to make sure when you do that, it's good. But, sorry, that was my 2 cents.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. So, I guess do we all have segments we want to hit real quick?
Mine was just about the weather.
Mine was
Everyone was
Ted
talking about the
Cruz
weather?
going to
Yeah, that was the
Cancun.
big thing in Ted Cruz.
Of course, Justin will always take an opportunity to dunk on a Republican. That's okay. I'm going to take an opportunity to dunk on a Democrat. Governor Cuomo. Now, you can verify this. You can do whatever you want to do. You can go fact check me, and I encourage you to do so. Just don't use Google. Use DuckDuckGo as a search engine because it will give you the unfiltered, unbiased results. Governor Cuomo of New York has the blood of 13,000. The last time I heard, that was about the estimated number, 13,000 deaths on his hand because during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in New York, this was last year, so then President Donald Trump, he sent a U.S. Navy medical vessel, I forget the name of it, you can look it up, to like offshore, off of the coast of New York, for him to send COVID patients, right? And look, again, whether you like Donald Trump or not, that was a good move. I gave him credit for that. I was like, good job. They never got used. There was also, I forget,
Really?
There's another field hospital that got that was like prepared for all the COVID patients, right? They had more or less been preparing for the little field. I think that field hospital ever got put to like 30% capacity, and then they stopped, I guess. So they never used all of it, and it was like, well, that's kind of fucking dumb. So after that, what this guy decided to do, what Governor Cuomo decided to do with all these people that tested positive for COVID-19, he put them in nursing homes. You know, the place where old people, that generally vulnerable population lives, he put them into fucking nursing homes. And you can look up a video of a 25-year-old beats up elderly person in a nursing home in New York. You'll find a video of these just generally scumbag people, like just they were living there, but also like this governor, man, and no one said a damn thing. And why do you think, off the top of your head, why do you think he would not use the resources that President Trump sent to him and would rather use like the nursing home? Let's just here's some thoughts.
I honestly
Anybody?
I thought they were gonna use that ship.
Nope, never did.
I remember seeing it out there and like it was a big
Yeah, it
deal,
was
and
out
then all of
there.
a sudden
Yeah.
now I hear
Yeah,
that
no one used
it
it.
wasn't even used. That's ridiculous.
So why do you think he wouldn't use the ship?
There's no telling. That's
I mean, I have a theory.
that's
that
his mistake. I mean,
that
unless
is.
he, like, because
I have a theory on why.
could be
but
because
I
I know he
wanna
doesn't
hear
like
what y'all's
Trump.
theory is.
But
Yeah, no, that's exactly my theory. He didn't use any of the resources that Trump had facilitated for him to use because he didn't want to make Trump look good in election season. How petty do you have to be to kill people with this virus because you don't like the incoming president? I don't give a fuck what your politics are. You literally are playing with human lives, and you are saying we don't care, you should die, so that this guy that we don't like because he's a little flamboyant on Twitter. He's a little outrageous with what he says. I'll say it. He's an asshole. Like Donald Trump's an asshole.
oh, not named Twitter
I don't-
anymore unless he got unbanned.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not unbanned. He's still not on Twitter. But either way, he's not. Look, he's still a dick. I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
hate the guy, but I'm not going to be like, oh my god, let's kill people to make him look. No. How far did your morals fall to say I'm okay with people dying to keep this guy from getting elected? Like, where's that okay? And
It's not.
so now he's under investigation. So Governor Cuomo's now under investigation, I think from the FBI. He's under federal investigation. And it was from like one of his assistants or one of his aides that accidentally leaked this information. I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just through a phone call and someone recorded said, "Gotcha, bitch." And that was it.
So one word can do it.
all it takes. But look, sometimes you need to expose people, and it shouldn't be you're a Democrat, so you will always have the Democrats no matter what they do, or you're a Republican, you'll always have the Republicans. Now, what was the thing we said? It's vote blue no matter who, and then vote red until you're dead. Isn't that what we said the other day?
Yep.
Those people are the poison of America, and they're literally responsible for the deaths of everyone that falls because of these ideologies being pushed, and they refuse to just say, okay, let's just put this from a human being perspective. That is just incredibly dangerous. It's incredibly irresponsible. I don't approve of it in any way, shape, or form, and it's incredibly aggravating when you get to that point, and this is the way they want to deal with shit. So it's just like, well, if you want to be a child, like, whatever, then I guess, be a child. We'll deal with this in whatever way is appropriate. But that one really pissed me off. I had to take a few days to sit with that. I didn't want to talk about it over the podcast. I didn't really want to talk about it too much outside of even like at work, and we're in the military, so we're not supposed to talk politics too much. But we talk news, and sometimes that news is politics. Actually, very much so over the last year, almost all the news has been politics. So, it ended up being politics. We were talking about it, and I had to leave the room. I had to walk out of the room, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. I'm going to get
Your head's gonna
physically angry. I'm going to want to hit somebody. If someone comes out and says, well, Trump's bad, I'm just going to punch him in the face. Like, you're part of the problem. You are the issue. So
Everyone's different.
everyone's different. You can vote for who you want. You can
Okay,
champion who you want. But
And to lay it on the line, I did not vote for Trump.
Neither did I.
I have never voted for anybody because they're all a bunch of assholes. And actually, I did like Obama. I just still didn't vote for him.
I liked first term Obama. Second
yeah.
term Obama started with the Iran deal. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
But my point is I have not seen anybody qualify for the position that they are at. And yes, I realize it's him or him or him or her, and we only got a minimal amount of choices. But honestly, I'm just I live in the United States, and that's the way a lot of people feel. I live here, but I don't agree with everything that's going on in here, and that's my perspective. But anybody that says Trump's bad, look, the guy's an asshole. That doesn't mean he's bad. The guy doesn't have any morals. That doesn't make him bad. It just makes him different than you. And anybody that keeps on saying that, he's a racist, he's a bigot, maybe he is. He's fucking in his 70s. But so is Biden. Gosh, just it's you have to think about it. When somebody in their 70s, what decade were they born? I want to answer.
Now it would be you're born in like the 40s.
Correct. So you have somebody that's born in the 40s, grew up the 50s and 60s with all the racist shit, and you expect them to forget about it. And I bet you the Biden's parents and Trump's parents were both racist as shit. So you're telling me sometimes things are ingrained in you, and it's hard to get rid of. And unfortunately, it's like a really bad situation, or it's a with PTSD with soldiers. It's in you for life, and it sometimes it's hard for people to deal with. And you get a lot of who you are and your personality comes from when you grow up, and that's what stays with you. It's not like your personality changes a lot from your 20s to your 50s, to be honest, and after a while it just kind of stays stuck. So, and you'll put on a face, and Trump doesn't put on a face. That's what's unique about him. And there's a lot of people that like him for that reason. Personally, I still think he's an asshole. I don't like him, but I don't think it makes him bad. I just think he doesn't give a shit about politics. Politics is always about presentation. How can I appear to look like really nice? And Obama's fantastic at it. I have no idea what he's like in behind the curtain. It's because he never lets the curtain down. Trump never put up the curtain. He's just like
he never put the curtain up. He would
so
he would say things that I think they got upset with him for because he was like being too honest.
Right.
About certain things, especially like
he's
government
not bad.
programs.
He's just an asshole. He says everything that comes to his mind. And I don't
Yeah.
think he means all of it. And just like when we say certain stuff, we don't all mean every single thing that we say, and we change our mind over time. Obviously, he seems a little bit more to change his mind than others. Just saying.
Or if he doesn't know what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, we all bullshit talk our way in and out of things. It's like what we do. And Trump's a bullshit talker. He loves to bullshit talk people.
He does.
But I don't like the words hate and don't get me wrong. There's some people that I actually genuinely do not like, in this world, and one of them being not. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in politics I absolutely loathe, and there's nobody. I definitely don't like any of the Democratic leaders or Republican leaders, Mr. Turtleface and Mrs.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, what should we call Nancy? I gotta come up with a good name for her. But I don't
I
like
don't know.
either of them because they're just. It's like, oh, party lines.
They're horrible people.
Yeah, horrible people.
They're horrible people. And I don't like Lindsey Graham. I don't like Chuck Schumer. I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I don't like Mitch McConnell. I was never a fan of the Clintons. I was never a fan of the Bushes. I thought they were all just the most vile scum you could ever get as far as who you were dealing with. And it's like, listen, these people are absolute garbage. Like they are some of the worst human beings on the planet. How do we get to the point where we're saying this is somehow okay? And I don't. When they say these are the best our country has to offer, dementia-riddled, senile, 78-year-old man who who is proven without a doubt, and if you don't believe it, the company that that they were saying Hunter Biden was working for just admitted to paying him like $900,000 or something. Giving the Biden's money. He's been accused of corruption. He's been accused of being a racist, and there's video footage of him being madly racist back in his early career. All of that stuff, and people seem to forget it. They forget it because they've been so hyper-polarized by the current state of politics. They don't want to use their brain. They don't want to think about what the fuck is actually going on. They just want to be ignorant and blissful. Ignorance is bliss, right? They want to have that state of ignorance where they don't have to actually think about what's going on. They just want to say, okay, the man that I've been told is bad is gone, right? No one thinks for themselves. People just watch whatever news program it is, whether it's Fox or CNN or left or right media. It doesn't matter. They will just go along the party lines. They'll be like, cool, good enough for me. I don't want to think. I don't want to use my brain. I just want to be told what to do. That is a dangerous concept because it shows how far we've fallen as a society. We used to protest everything. When the government said do this, the government said we're going to tax you. We said tax this dick. We didn't fucking just go along with it. Like we fought. We fought against our own government for what we thought was right. Now we're not doing that. Now we're just saying it's okay. I want to be comfortable and have Daddy Joe tell me what to do and Big Uncle Sam tell me what I need to do here. I don't want to have to think. Brain hurty. It's hard. Like
Brain hurty.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That is where we're at. And that is equally the state of our leadership wanting that to be the case as it is the state of the people. Not fucking being willing to embrace a life that is not super comfortable. I said it the last couple of days when I've been talking to you, Matt. Hard times make good hard men. Hard men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. It is a cycle. I think we've had some really good times, but we've been consistently getting weak. Men have been getting weak. Men and women, not just, but mankind, humankind. And the United States has been getting progressively more weak. Why? I don't know. I do have a theory. I have theories. I don't know. But I think it's that we've allowed ourselves to become dependent on government institutions. And instead of saying, I'm going to work and I'm going to sacrifice a few hours of sleep every night and I'm going to get sweaty and I'm going to get sore, my muscles are going to hurt and I'm going to be tired, we don't want that. I say, I want to work.
It's my butthole every night.
Right? Same here, brother.
Oh, God, it can't come out!
I want to go to my 4-year college and get my bachelor's degree. I want to sit at an office. I want to do nothing. And I want to essentially just... What the fuck? Oh my God, this is getting annoying. Okay. Uh, this is where we're at. Look, this is where the fuck we're at with it. The idea that this is somehow like some brand new thing. Look, this has been
What's
going
up,
on
Luis?
for a very long time. All right, this has been going on for a while. Where
Miss you, buddy.
people don't want to embrace a difficult life because they are just like I would rather be comfortable. I don't want to embrace a hard life. I want to sit around and be comfortable.
Okay,
That's
Matt.
stupid. That's fucking dumb.
Do it.
Allow yourself to be uncomfortable. I don't know what's going on over there.
He's about to get me banned. I'm banned from Twitch.
No, just fixing myself. I was getting hot.
Oh, take it all off.
Oh,
Listen, it's been a while since I pounded off, so if you do that, I got every reason to start just going at it. I would like, but we've turned into a society of a bunch of soft ass motherfuckers, and that's not okay. And we shouldn't be relying on the government. People that think we should, they just fuck off. But it's also equally part of our leadership. Our leadership is like, yeah, sure, rely on us. I got you. But in fact, they do not have us. They are not taking care of us. They are not looking out for us. They're lining their pockets, and basically, once they say, "I will make sure your life is comfortable," they tend to kind of pop smoke and be like, "All right, cool, fuck you. You know, I got your vote, I got your donation. What do I need you for now?" And I don't know about you, it's kind of fucked up. But that's how it goes. That's the name of the game now. That's why these politicians don't actually do anything for us. They line their pockets. They line up with these corporatist lobbyist groups, and they just say, cool, I have money, I have power, I will stay in office so long as they continue to float me, and we'll put out propaganda, and we will put out all this stuff that makes people believe I am a good candidate and a good person. We've talked about it before. Lobbying for any politician should just be outright illegal under penalty of death. If you ask me, if you're a lobbyist group, you find the fucking CEO of that lobbyist group, off with their damn head. You're done. We're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to allow it. See Matt's demonstration for exactly how I want it to happen, and in a public setting, so no one wants to fuck around and find out. But we do that, and I think we would stop seeing all these greedy bastards come around and just be like, yep, I'm gonna do whatever I can to line my pockets. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be lining your pockets when you're in a public office. That's not how this works. Oh, fuck.
Give her the turtle.
I don't want to give it back. It's mine now.
Share.
So they went to Dallas Aquarium.
Dallas. Oh, they're open. Nice.
Here, I'll show the price for you if you can read it.
$20.
There you go,
30 bucks.
$20.
Oh, dang it.
Good job reading, Justin.
I said 30, not 20. But...
Well, it's really soft.
Hi, little girl.
Hello.
Hi, Luis's kids.
Easy there, Joe Biden.
No. No.
Anyway, well, I know Matt's got stuff going on today, so we'll try not to take all day with it. But real quick, let's get into this discussion between everything we talked about with Governor Cuomo, with Ted Cruz, with Governor Fuckface Abbott, with all these guys that are leaders. And I wanted to get into this roundtable discussion real quick, and then we can end it here. Is
Sounds good.
the state of leadership in our country, I think, is absolutely piss poor. I think this is the worst leadership. We don't really have actual leadership, you know? When I think of leadership, I think of people that are willing to work hard and take the example, lead by example specifically, and make shit happen that otherwise wouldn't happen. You don't make shit happen just by sitting on your ass all day and saying, and making false promises. I don't think we have leaders. I don't think we have people that are like, human beings we want to look up to. I think that's our issue, and I wanted to get y'all's opinion on this and have kind of a quick roundtable discussion on what we need from leaders in this country. What do you think we need as a country from our leaders, from the people that we elect to the people that get promoted in companies and even to some degree the military. What are we missing from our leadership as Americans?
Gotta think about that one real quick, but
All
I'll pass
right,
it on to
so-
somebody else.
Yeah, I'll jump in here, and not to rain on your parade, but the definition of what a man is, I'm sorry, but fuck all. There's no such thing as a definition of a man or a woman at this point. We're just called it's, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
It's
That's
like
2021 safe. I apologize.
yeah, no.
I didn't mean to sound like a bigot.
No. It's just look, you're a person. That's it. You're not a him, her, she, transgender. You're just a person.
That's what I was gonna
At this
say.
point- and
You
this-
are a person.
Yeah, just like hey, you're a person. That's it. And there is no such thing as a person. The shining white armor guy, white knight. Or fucking
Oh God, the worst.
a woman that's it's like, oh my God, save me. There's just none
Barely.
of that. There's none of that anymore. It's
No.
it's all in the movies, and some movies are still pushing that off, but they're like woman power kind of thing, and they're really pushing that shit now. And like women need to feel empowered, and men, fuck, I don't know what they're trying to teach men at this point. Yeah,
they're
fucking
trying to
stand
teach
by
men
your
not
woman.
to be masculine.
Stand by your woman.
Be a man.
Well,
It's-
No, now they're saying that
I don't
masculinity is
know.
bad and you shouldn't be masculine because it's toxic and all these other equally just mentally disabled ideas.
Well, I mean,
yes, I said it like
what
that.
they
I'm
what
being
they
somewhat
believe is
cautious.
masculinity creates violence, and if you
That's
can
bullshit.
decrease masculinity, of men, then you can decrease the amount of violence. I mean,
I don't think that's been
statistics
happening,
show
though.
but statistics show why is it? And I'll bring out statistics in this case. Why is
Okay.
it when a boy turns 16, the insurance costs $500 a month for you to drive versus a girl only $300? Because
Because
statistically,
men have this
it'll
thing
show
called testosterone, and we like to do dumb shit.
exactly.
We like to impress. We like to
But that's
impress girls
masculine.
by driving
It's not.
fast.
They're coming up with a fucking term, masculine. So control your fucking testosterone. Control it. You can't do anything you don't want anymore.
You're not
That's-
allowed
that's
to be
not-
a man.
That's
You're
not what they're
allowed
trying
do
to say. They're
generically
just trying to
manly
empower
things.
women. And to be honest, a lot of women are probably getting a lot more testosterone. And now
Probably.
switching from statistics, and you guys agree with me on that. You pay more for a boy than a woman, than a girl, because you expect a girl to be a little bit more careful. Typically, because when a girl's at the age of 16 and a boy's at the age of 16, or we're gonna go down the lines, or you're transgender at the age of 16, get out.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, fine. I'm
you're-
leaving.
Any of
Don't tell me
those
twice.
at the age of 16, your state of mind's a little different. A boy, not all boys, everybody's a little different, obviously, but typically, statistics show that girls are more developed brain-wise at the age of 16, and then some odd reason boys pass them at the age of 19 as soon as they fucking get out of the house. I don't know what it is on dumb choices. I'm not calling girls dumb or transgender dumb, but just everybody just turns dumb as soon as they leave their house. I got freedom! Oh my God, I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this! But that happens to us all. We all go through that. And people think that, statistics again, jumping over to 20s. The 20s are actually the most depressing age for anybody because you're trying to figure out your life, you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. So, as we look at this and you think about statistics and male versus female, and trust me, there's no transgender in there. You have a brain of a male or a brain of a female. If you decide to change your body chemistry and what you do to your body is all different.
You were born with certain chromosomes, and that is not something you can change.
Okay, you're born with either a vagina or a penis. Some cases, you're born with both. Not very often, but you're born with one or the other. If you
It's
decide
called
to
a
change your
pergina.
pergina. Okay, now we're getting off topic. But statistically, when you come to men, it's saying testosterone is what's the word?
Masculine?
is masculinity is
Yeah.
synonymous with that, that is it's not true. Look, everybody's has chemicals pumping through their body and through the brain, and most of the time, what's masculinity? It's if not testosterone. Testosterone is
It's
a fucking sex drive.
Right. So
You're like, you want to see. It's like freaking. You're young. You're a stud. You're a stallion. You're like, I want to go find me some meat. It's like, I gotta go find
Stallion.
me a woman. That's what it is, though. It's a sex hormone. Testosterone is.
it is.
To
Same way
say
estrogen is.
to say it's anything else, it's you're joking with yourself. It's like, well, it's controlling the way my brain thinks. Absolutely, it's making you want to think. I gotta go get me some of that.
Well,
that's what it is.
To not detract, but to take that down another way, I think masculinity and being masculine, what is socially considered masculine, is a good thing, right? It drives competition. Yes, it's at its base, it's a sex hormone. It makes you want to impress the opposite sex. You're essentially peacocking. But what do masculine men do? If we're talking about now, in the 2000s and just the modern era, masculine men, they do manual labor. Sometimes they work out. Sometimes they don't have to. If they're like eating hay bales or working construction, but they compete. Like when I go to jiu-jitsu, for example, when I go to MMA, when I do anything like that, it's a lot of dudes who want to compete. There's nothing wrong with competition. People that say competition is bad are just fuck you. You're weak. I don't care.
So let me
Don't get me wrong,
ask
I don't
you
always
this.
want to compete. I might want to do it leisurely.
In what kind
but,
of environment do you think that masculinity, or you're saying the competition complex, comes into play?
Mhm.
Do you think it's because you had one or two boys or one girl, one boy, or do you think it's because there's eight kids that somebody had and there was only a certain amount of food, and if you didn't fucking fight for the food, you weren't going to get any? So
You're talking
I
about
think,
going back to caveman days.
No, I'm not. Dude, this isn't caveman days. How big were some of these families?
So
How big do you think some of these families are? There's people that still have families that are like 5 to 10 kids. And
Yeah,
trust
I'm
me,
tracking.
no, back in the 50s, even in the 50s,
Yeah.
there's
Even
so
more
my
so in the
grandparents,
50s.
all of both of my grandparents are dead. On my father's side, his dad had a total of 7 kids. On my my mom's side, my grandfather had 12 kids. Dude, and they came out great. It's something about competition, and it's not masculinity. It's nothing about that. It's fighting for what you can get, and it's the giving. Oh, you're my child, and I will give this to you freely. Yes, I love you. Oh my God, it's the nurture. And
It is that.
it's
but
a
at the
little
same
over
time,
nurturing. And I'm
I
not saying you don't need to give your kids shit. It just make them work for it. Because and plus, if you make somebody work for it, it makes them feel better. It makes them
well,
feel
they
like
understand
they
the
earned
value
it.
of hard work.
Well,
If
it's
they
not just
don't,
that.
they have
It's
to work
chemicals
for
in your
it.
brain. It's chemicals in your brain
You get a
when you
dopamine
get
release and all
something.
that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, you really do, and it makes them want to work harder. Obviously, you might create a workaholic. A business workaholic. I want to work for every
Listen,
day
man,
of my
if there's
life.
one thing you should be efficient and productive, I guess. I mean, like, if you're gonna be nothing else in life, but you're gonna be efficient and productive, I don't think that's a necessarily bad thing. I will tell you to stop and smell the goddamn roses every now and then, and to enjoy life. But like, whatever. I mean, it's your life. Do what the fuck you want. With
Masculinity,
it,
just
but we're
like
talking. We got on masculinity from leadership, but I will say, I think.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I'm gonna finish it real quick. Okay,
Okay, go ahead.
masculinity, it's all a joke. It's got twisted like every other word, like the word gay. It's never been about homosexuals. It was always about what happiness is, and it got branded into being what's considered homosexual, and the word gay is branded like that now, and that's the way everybody sees it. And the same thing with feminism. Feminism, when you think about it, sometimes it has negative connotation to it, and I've talked to so many people about it. It's negative because you'll get these people that feel like women need to be stronger and more powerful. But all feminism is everybody's equal. But when you hear the word feminism, I don't know about you guys, sometimes the way it's perceived by people is, oh, it's about women's rights and everything. It's like, look,
I mean, nowadays, unfortunately, I think of like fat blue-haired lesbians.
That's weird and interesting. It's the way you think about
Listen, when you talk about first wave feminism, I think of like sexy flapper girls.
But that's what I'm saying.
And
It
girls
gets
want to go do
branded,
whatever the fuck
or
they
in this
want.
in this context, profiled. You start
Yeah.
thinking of a profile for these different words, and we all tend to do that. I mean, it's normal. So when we think about the word leadership, I don't think of masculinity. I don't think
You don't
about
have to necessarily think
feminism.
of
I don't
masculinity,
think
but
about
what I'm
any.
saying.
I
Sorry.
think I know. I understand where you're. I'm getting back. I'm leading all the way back. So with
Okay.
leadership, I believe it all comes down to taking a proactive step, not a reactive step. So if you're ahead of the situation and are always there to say, "Hey, this is happen. I'm going to prepare for it the best I can," and always stating that, and it's like, and we'll learn from our mistakes because we are going to make mistakes, and say that up front, people are going to want to fucking follow you. Like it's like,
Yeah.
look, I know we're about to, like, if you know, that's what I'm saying. Like if Ted Cruz that knew this weather was coming in and said, "Hey, I'm gonna be with you guys and we'll fight this together," and just said something like that, people would be way more happy with him. Even if say, "Hey, I promise, you know, we'll try to. I hope everything goes well. I can't really do anything right now about it." But hopefully in the future we can learn with all these mistakes, and people would be more accepting of him. But and even our governor, who decided to fucking wait until after the power's out, like we all, like I knew the power was going to go out. Like
He's a doofus.
you just got to be proactive, and that's what
You do.
leadership is to me. And when you're looking at the situation, you have to think ahead of what can happen, what will happen. Comes back to Murphy's Law, man.
We just don't have real leadership.
So, last thing you said, Matt, was you're talking about ownership. You're talking about ownership, and we talked about that before. Ownership is, I think, the most important quality. Ownership and humility are the two most important qualities to have as a leader, and unfortunately, we don't have that. Everyone wants to take responsibility because it means you won't be a fucking leader anymore. You won't get reelected. You won't have all these whatever. You won't keep getting power and money. And I'm just gonna say, I don't give a fuck. Like power and money, that's great. If people remember who you are and they turn to you in time of a crisis, they're going to say, "Wow, this guy's awesome. This guy's going to, this guy's going to be the reason why, like, we're gonna get through this." We're gonna turn this man in a moment of just bad fortune or crisis or anything. And they're going to get us through because they're going to understand leadership. They're going to know how to mitigate risks. They're going to know how to have decentralized command and put people in charge of certain things at a micro level and say, "Hey, we're going to let, not just try to be this dictator, but they're going to understand different levels of leadership. They're going to understand to be humble
I believe you
about
in being
it."
the dick, but not the tater.
Hey,
Hey.
listen, you're my favorite tater, okay?
Okay. I got a tater cut for you later.
But going back to masculinity, listen, you said feminine. Okay, so feminine, a feminine woman. What do you think of when you think of a feminine woman?
Dude,
Looks like a chick,
today,
right? Looks like a woman. No. Just fuck today. I don't care about the social justice.
getting your nails done, getting your hair groomed.
Looking like a girl, looking like a woman. And I'm not talking about just the American way. I'm talking about the world. When I was in Poland, Polish women pride themselves on looking feminine. They look hot. They look pretty. They take care of themselves. They want to.
It's like a baboon in his ass. He just sticks it out there, and it's all colorful. You're just like, "I'm gonna get me some of that."
They're peacocking. They really are. Like
I know, but
they're
that's
strutting
what
it, and
that's what we
getting
think
it.
of women.
And when you think of a
especially in that space.
masculine man, you think of a man who looks like a
Stinks.
man.
Oh God.
Smells musky. Probably has a beard if they can grow one, and isn't a pussy about it itching their face.
What
Lifts
the fuck?
weights,
I'm not itching
muscular.
my face. It
does
doesn't
hard
itch
work.
that much. Sorry. Keep going.
Doing all the things that have been stereotypically manly, right? And not only that, but like a masculine. But that's and then you think beyond that. A masculine man was a masculine. Masculine men create shit. They create crops. They create food. They build shit. They teach others, and that's not just a masculine trait, but masculine men do that. And I think Jordan Peterson said it really well. If you know who Jordan B. Peterson is a Canadian he's a psychologist, psychiatrist, but he works with he's done clinical psychologist or clinical psychiatrist. Fuck off, Matt. He was saying that a good man is a masculine who has the masculine aggression, but that doesn't mean violent aggression. Aggression can be you can pursue your goals in life with an aggression. Right? You can be aggressive in how you pursue work, how you pursue life, how you pursue your goals, how you do all this. Everyone put this negative connotation to aggression being a violent thing, physically aggressive, physically violent. That's bullshit. That's how they painted aggression and masculinity and all that stuff bad. You know, like, so don't let those idiots tell you what the fuck that means. I don't think they don't know their asshole from their elbow, so I don't care. When you think of masculine people, I think of men I would follow into battle or men I would follow into a crisis. I think of dudes who look like men.
Not to crap on your parade, but that's what I mean by creating our own version of our words.
Well, that's just what everyone perceives. That's not just America. That's the rest of the fucking world.
Yeah, but I mean, let's read the definition, okay, and we can break it down even further.
Okay,
the word aggressive, ready or likely to attack.
I think Matt froze.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck. Of course he did. Matt, are you still there? Oh, probably his internet went out or something.
He froze because.
You froze?
Of course it
Oh,
froze.
there we go. He
There you
froze.
are. You're back. Hey.
Okay. Matt, is it working again?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay.
You don't have the
aggression.
funniest face when you froze. You're like.
All right. Here's the definition, and this is what I'm saying. You can think of your own version of every definition in the world of a word, but the actual definition based off of dictionary.com is hostile or violent behavior or attitudes towards another, readiness to attack or confront.
So.
So
The first part I can understand, the aggressive, violent part, or that part about it being about violence. That is part of the definition. But ready to attack or confront does not necessarily have to equate to physical violence, I think. Hold on, let me look it up. Dictionary.com. And then you said you looked up the term for aggression, right?
correct.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like, so when we think of words, and the word aggression really means that, but to some people, aggressive. So not aggression. So do aggression versus aggressive. All right. So let's look up the word aggressive. Ready or likely to attack or confront, characterized by or resulting from aggression. So aggressive means you're ready for anything. You're you're very there. You're ready to attack if need be, but you don't have to. But aggression means you're actually doing it.
But you're ready, and you don't have to attack. Attack doesn't mean physically attack. Attack can mean you attack the day. You attack your to-do list. You attack the day's objective. You get after it. Here's mine from Merriam-Webster since 1828. Aggression, a forceful action or procedure. This is one of like a couple. A forceful action or procedure, such as an unprovoked attack, especially when intended to dominate or master, does not say anything about physical attack necessarily, but that's one. You can forcefully attack what you have to get done today. If I got to clean the house and I get after it with aggression, I'm cleaning the fuck out of this house, right? Two, the practice of making attacks or encroachments, especially unprovoked violation by one country so they're talking about like aggression, like military aggression. Three, hostile, injurious, or destructive behavior or outrage, especially when caused by frustration. That is what you're talking about. You're talking about physically attacking somebody. You're talking about punching them in the face or whatever you're going to do. But the first one.
But you'd have to say that
a forceful action or procedure.
But the
especially
word
when
is not.
to dominate or master. And then I'll look. That's aggression. Let me look up aggressive.
But the both words, whether you want it to or not, is perceived as physical attack. And when people hear the word aggressive or aggression, they think physical attack. What do you guys think when I say fried chicken?
Chicken that's been fried.
Food.
Really good, juicy chicken. I don't know.
Do you
I'm not
think
gonna-
it's
I'm
going to
not
be
gonna-
healthy,
I'm not
or do
gonna
you
lie.
think it's going to be bad for you?
I think of KFC, and
I think it's
of
gonna be
being
good
a
for
heart
me.
attack.
But then bad for me in
Bad.
the long run.
So it's going to taste good, but it's going to be bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
As most
why
things in
doesn't
life are.
anybody use the word fried chicken?
Because we're not talking.
Anymore?
You're talking about fried chicken. A chicken is a thing. Fried is what you've done to it. Now we're
Right,
breaking down
but-
words and we're breaking into the English language, but let's not dive down this rabbit hole.
No,
because we're
just
going to
real
lose
quick.
track.
It's just real quick. My point is,
Okay.
people don't use the word fried because it has a negative connotation. We don't use the word aggressive or aggression on a regular basis because it's a negative connotation, meaning when people hear the word fried or the word aggression, they think fight. When they hear fried, they think, oh, this food is going to be fucking delicious, but I'm going to die of a heart attack one day. So
Right.
I'm
why
okay
do you
with
think all these
I'm here for a good
companies
time,
change,
not a
they
long
change it to like
time.
crispy or things like that?
Right.
You change the word. You don't
I know
make it.
plenty of places that change the crispy chicken, and I look at them, I'm like, that's fried, isn't it? And it's like, yes. Like, you just call it fried chicken. Like, it's marketing.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay,
it's
that's
marketing, but
okay.
that's my
So
point.
that's marketing. For that, it's a business of food. It's a food business, so they're marketing it so that people will still buy it. Why do you think they use the specific term of aggressive or aggression, excuse me, to talk about physical violence? Because they want to paint it in a bad light. They want to make aggression and aggressive people seem bad. They want it to be physically violent. They want people to be scared of it. This is controlling the minds of people who are, I'm just going to say it, too fucking stupid to think for themselves and to look up definitions of other shit. When I think of aggression, yes, you could think of physically violent. And when I'm on the MMA mats or the jiu-jitsu mats or whatever the fuck I'm doing in life, that's exactly what the fuck I'm thinking. Oh, he's pretty aggressive, which means he's about to put me in a fucking chokehold and put me to sleep. When I'm at work, I'm the aggressive. Hey, man, I need you to get after that task with a lot of aggression. Get the fuck after it. Knock it out. Accomplish your task with fervor. Do not just sit around and honey dick around all day. All right, so dictionary, Merriam-Webster dictionary. This is aggressive. 1A, tending toward or exhibiting aggression. Okay, obviously. 1B, marked by combative readiness. And that's, again, the physical violence. Combative readiness. 2A, marked by obtrusive energy and self-assertiveness. That has nothing to do with physical violence. None. That is just, again, what I've been saying. Pursuing your goals with aggression. Getting after it. 2B, marked by driving forceful energy or initiative. See, enterprising. An aggressive salesman. An aggressive whatever, entrepreneur. Nothing to do with physical violence. Why are we not using that term? Why do we not highlight that term and give it the spotlight it deserves?
Even aggressive salesman, though, it's got a negative connotation because nobody likes aggressive salesmen.
No one wants an aggressive salesman. An aggressive, I don't know, throwing out. An aggressive lawyer, right? An aggressive scientist. An aggressive inventor.
An aggressive lover.
Hey, look, that's not always a bad thing, all right? You can be an aggressive lover. I'm sure some ladies would like
please myself.
that. An aggressive self-lover. Means
You take that!
he's beating his dick like it owes him money.
Boy.
Gotta get that lunch money back, boys.
How did you pay for your lunch again? Don't answer that. Okay, I thought you were about to say something. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop you right there. I'm just gonna stop you right there before you say anything else. 3.
Had to pay that 10 grand somehow, boys.
Jesus Christ. Strong. Number 3 for the definition of aggressive. Strong or emphatic in effect or intent. Okay, aggressive colors or aggressive flavors. There's another good one. Aggressive flavors. Yeah. Aggressive flavors, though, in food.
Cumin. Curry.
But are those bad things? Do you immediately associate them negative?
I think
Curry
Indians.
maybe.
I like
maybe.
curry.
I can smell. I don't mind curry, but it can smell after a while.
Yeah, no, it's
smells
garlic and freaking curry.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh god, it just seeps out your pores, and you're just like,
Yeah. Listen. Number 4 for aggressive: growing, developing, or spreading rapidly. Not violent. Number 5. More severe, intensive, or comprehensive than usual, especially in dosage or extent. For example, aggressive treatment, aggressive chemotherapy. Out of all those definitions, only one really went on to talk about physical violence and combativeness, which was 1B marked by combative readiness, which is the example is an aggressive fighter.
Mhm.
So why are you you're highlighting the negative. You're highlighting the combative. And maybe that's just how these fucking weak pussies fucking see it, because that's what the fuck they are. If you think aggressive and you immediately think physical violence, maybe you're just a bitch. Like, maybe you should stop being so fucking 10-ply soft
It's
toilet
just
paper.
in all those situations. No offense to you at all, but almost every single one of the situations that you said have a negative connotation to it to me.
How?
And aggressive medicine. That means you have to take something aggressive enough to almost kill you
No,
to be able to
aggressive
kill
means
whatever's
just...
inside of you.
Okay.
Or aggressive
another one.
surgery.
I
I'm
got one
just saying
particularly
everything has a
aggressive
negative connotation.
Hold
It's
on,
just
I'm
like
gonna
anything
counter.
you say about like round-shaped looking spheres can mean testicles to me, or a penis, or sex. But it's all about perception.
When was the last time you got laid? Because I'm noticing a trend with you now.
2 years, 5 months, 3 days, and
Oh.
2 hours.
I'm sorry.
I am surprised.
Okay.
2 months, 5 years, 3 days, 2 hours. I got it down, nailed to the fucking hour in 15 minutes. But anyway,
I'm sorry. Buddy. 15 minutes. Check your watch.
it was a lovely brunch afternoon a few years ago.
Things
So-
are normal.
It was
Listen,
November.
Okay. So here's another one. If I'm an EMT, and I had a friend who described it like this: I'm an EMT, and I'm treating. Let's say I have a patient who is having trouble maintaining an airway. He can't breathe because his throat's swelling up or whatever, and he aggressively intubates that airway. That's not negative.
He's
I
being
mean, yeah, what's
forceful.
happening to him is negative, but you're
I wouldn't
doing
say
something to save his
aggressive. He
fucking life.
forcibly entered the you know.
So saving
I
your life is
shoved it
negative?
down his throat.
Blowhole.
Sometimes that can be okay, but in this scenario, you can't breathe. So
No.
what I'm doing aggressively is saving your goddamn life. That's not negative. And maybe to you, if you wanted to fucking die, I don't know what to tell you, but like,
I
too bad
don't
we
know
save
if I'd
lives in this
use
Being
the
business.
word
aggressive doesn't really
to
always
put
mean
I
something
would.
down
negative.
someone's
You
throat,
aggressively
though.
intubate, you aggressively treat, you aggressively resuscitate. Aggressive fluid resuscitation. I hear the term aggression all the time, and it's not negative. You're perceiving it as negative because you're putting this negative you're believing it to be negative. But there's plenty of literal definitions from Merriam-Webster's
But
dictionary.
marketing, my
dictionary.com.
point is, marketing shows and statistics show the word aggression is not a good word to use.
For
That's my
pussies,
point.
Sure.
I'm
just
just
gonna say,
saying
I'm
it's
putting
not
my
a
foot
good
in the
word.
ground. For soft people that just are complete bitches, yeah, for sure. They probably don't want to hear about aggression. They want to be
You're
like,
being
but our
very
world
aggressive
should be
and-
soft and sunflowers and sunshine and rainbows and bunnies and puppies.
I
Puppies
love
out of
bunnies.
here. Puppies are awesome.
I got my
Bunnies
bunny.
are
Let's
awesome.
see him. Come here, Maggie.
Oh. Oh.
I got my
Good
puppy
boy.
right here.
Wait, boy or girl? You said
She's a
Maggie?
girl.
Girl.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
This is
you're such a
Maggie.
girly.
She
Oh.
loves me.
Yeah,
She's
she's
a
not
wonderful
fighting.
dog.
So that's a good thing.
Dixon.
She's very aggressive when I play with her, though. I will give you that. She bites.
Who's your boy? Who's your boy?
But she seems
Anyway.
happy right now.
Anyway, look, what I'm getting at is
I'm gonna clean her fur.
that is people's perception, and whether it's the majority or not the majority, there are other sides to that definition, but you should have leaders that aggressively chase their goals and get them done. Why do we want them to lackadaisically fuck off like they've already been doing for years now, and say that's okay? Going back to the leadership thing, I'm okay with aggressive leaders, man. I want fucking aggressive leaders. I want leaders that can be aggressive, but know how to channel that. I think what we're saying is we have aggression and channel it
Right.
properly. Now that's where we get into this whole channeling your aggression, and if we have leaders that can channel their aggression, they will get the fuck after it. They will accomplish their goals. They will do good by their constituents. They will do good by their townships or the city, their state, whatever. We don't have any of that. We have a bunch of fucking pussyfooting around motherfuckers that don't want to actually put in the work. They want to rely on other people or pass the buck and say, hey, it's not my fault. I think like someone was saying Greg Abbott owned this situation, but then he also like passed the buck. So you'll have to tell me that because y'all are actually in Texas.
We are.
And look through a non-biased perspective, please. Don't be like, oh, CNN said this or Fox said this. Fuck them both. Find a non-biased news source.
So apparently, and you guys can go research this on aggressiveness. Okay, we're gonna jump right back into the power thing real quick. So I don't know exactly how much Jerry Jones owns the power, but he was laughing like he won the lottery when the Power Commission, Energy Commission for Texas, told them that they can price gouge essentially. And so he's laughing like, I'm get so much money. You can go check that. But there, for people that are aggressive, that's a great idea of who's aggressive. Like, hey, we're losing money right now. Let's go make it back. Okay, let's price gouge, bitches.
I mean, yeah.
Stupid.
Agreed.
I am
It's
not.
a bit silly, but going back to the leadership thing, I want to knock this. I want to knock this leadership thing out because we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, and I wanna be able to close this no later than in 2.5 hours, but hopefully before then.
Hopefully.
I'm probably gonna leave here soon, actually.
That's fine. We can wrap this up. So, what are we missing from leaders? Not talking about masculinity, not talking about femininity, not talking about aggression. What are we missing from our leadership?
Definitely
what do we
ownership.
need? For sure.
Definitely
Agreed.
proactiveness, and
Mhm.
rather than reactive, stepping up to the plate ahead of time. And even if you see if you only see it a few days ahead, say something about it. Like, hey,
Right.
I know we're about to enter the storm. That's what I'm saying. The governor could have came out and said, hey, I wish everybody, I bid everybody to stay safe and warm. We're going to try to work hard to make sure that everybody stays safe. And like, I hope and pray for the best.
Could be in a state of emergency.
Yeah. Oh, now we need to be in a state of emergency. Yeah.
Stupid.
So ownership, proactiveness, and probably and after Trump, honestly, I gotta say charisma. You gotta have some charisma because it's just like, look, I don't think Trump is a horrible guy, but you put Obama's charisma on Trump, and a lot less people would have hated him. And I feel you can't be a leader unless you're charismatic towards the people and you sound like you at least care about them. And I think that's lacking in some areas, just as Trump as an example.
Good example.
I 100% agree. I always said that if you took Obama's voice and had it saying Trump's policies, there really wouldn't be a whole lot of kickback. People would have been all about it.
Probably not all about it, but there would
Not
probably
all
been
about it, but
less...
more people would be okay with him than against him substantially. Because most people just thought he was a dick. Like, oh, I can't stand him. He's so mean on Twitter. Like, okay, pull your finger out of your ass.
All right.
I agree on the ownership.
I gotta get going, man.
Okay, can we just wrap this up real quick?
Okay.
Agreed on the ownership. I would say everything you said. Gonna go back to the aggression thing. Properly channeled aggression, though. Using it in the right way towards the right goals. Not being physically violent. You're not gonna hurt anybody. God damn it. So no one gets that misconstrued. I'm not talking about the violent terminology for aggression, but getting after it. What needs to get done? Your goals not for you, because if you're a public servant, fuck you. You should be all about your constituents, your state, your city, or your country, or your town, whatever. That, and then selflessness, and just the ability to not be the tendency to not be corrupt. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
Erasing.
All of that, and just keep that. I don't know when we're gonna get it. I know there's some leaders I like that have it, but for the most part, like I would say 85 to 95% of politicians and these like elected leaders are straight scum of the earth garbage people. So
Yeah, we'll see.
Austin or Justin, if you have anything to add real quick before we wrap this up so Matt can get going.
I hope we get a great leader. We need leadership
You need leadership.
and not bullshit.
Justin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you had anything to add.
Whatever, Austin. Yeah, just like adding or not
Good enough.
really adding on top, but yeah.
Yes.
Well, Matt's clearly fucking off. Do we have a closer for this? Do we have you know how we have an opener where it's like, welcome to Thunderdome?
That concludes our podcast
Okay.
for episode 8.
We gotta make it more energetic with the closing too.
All right. So anybody that watches this, I'm going
yeah.
to give you a personal phone number of Jamie E606. And if you watch this, you get to call him and prank call him. And I want you to. Because I feel like this is important for the group to be able to, for people that do watch this, I want messed up things to happen to some of my friends because I think it's hilarious. But in case you're watching and you can replay this, his phone number is 214-223-2890. Give him a call and ask for your salad to be tossed. And leave a message if he doesn't pick up. Just do it. And do whatever you please, but just do it. And Neil, since you don't have his phone number, I'd like you to be the first prank caller. But definitely.
All right.
So this bit, we have done this. I do want us to start doing some prank calls next bit, just because they're fun and it pisses people the hell off when you do it. Obviously, we're going to do it within the bounds of keeping people safe, but we still want them to be freaking angry as hell and get a reaction. But I hope everybody enjoyed watching today. And if you hear that, remember, call Jamie E606. You're going to get a great reaction from it. He might say yes.
I will post this on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe and follow our channels. I will also include all of our links to our Twitches. Be sure to give us a follow as well, where we play games as well during the week.
We play games real quick. All the different Twitches, all the different Discords. I will let them give theirs. I will say mine, of course. Donut081893. Again, Donut, capital D, 081893 on the Twitch and the Discord. For the Discord, it is #9982 after Donut, and I will let the rest of the guys give their information. But this has been episode 7 of the Thunderdome, and thank you all for coming out. I appreciate it.
Mine's just Lord of the Rings. Don't need to give my Discord information, but Twitch is okay.
Damn, he said fuck y'all.
All
right.
right. My stream, so I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yep. That's it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
right. Yep. Y'all have a good one. Are we going to do a closeout and where it's like, thank you for coming to the Thunderdome type of thing?
I mean,
We're
I
not gonna do
guess.
that. We can end with a lot of energy, so it's not like
We'll have to do it
Yeah,
next
they'll
time
go
now that
on.
Matt left. But
go out with a whimper type of thing.
yeah, I'm gonna end it right here.
Alright.
But I'm gonna stay in the party.
Ending.
Welcome,
That is cool.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Oh, Matt's still here. All right. Thanks
can't
for
be the
watching,
welcome.
everybody.